Hello and welcome to Derek's Horror Corner. So we just finished seeing the Child's Play remake. So not only do you got Derek's Horror Corner, but you got Corey from CDR. We met in person for the first time ever today.
Yep.
Like we each drove about a couple hours or so, met in St. Louis, Missouri, and saw the Child's Play remake together, and we just got out of it. So we're going to give you guys a spoiler-filled review. So this will probably be long. This will be 30 minutes, maybe even an hour. We're just going to talk. We're going to do like a more concise individual video probably this weekend. But this is just, we're just going to talk about anything and everything with the movie. So our initial thoughts is we both absolutely loved it.
I really liked it a lot.
I thought it was amazing. Like, I set the bar fairly high, and it just blew me away at how good it was. Would you agree?
I agree. I liked how different it was. It didn't at all try to be the same as the other one, which, rights or no rights issues, they did something different.
Yes. Like, this movie is nothing like any of the other movies in the franchise. Like, let's think about, like, what was the same. Like, some of the characters' names were the same, and the doll's name was the same, but, I mean, that's honestly about it. Like, there weren't, like, any kills that were really, like, callbacks to, like, the other movies, I didn't think.
No, there wasn't. They didn't copy any of them either from the first one.
Yeah, I was expecting to see, like, you know, when she got in the car, I was expecting maybe, like, a callback to, like, Mike's kill in the first one where Chucky was in, like, the back seat. But no, like, none of the kills were copied. The characters' names were the same, but I feel like the characters acted a lot different than they did in the original.
They didn't feel like they were at all the same because, like, Mike Norris is a really funny guy, and then the other one he was really serious, and Andy was older and had a hearing aid too.
Yeah, like everything. The mom was way different. She was younger and she didn't act anything like that. She had like a boyfriend in this one. She didn't in the original. It was really interesting.
Yeah, they added in a lot more stuff that actually kind of adds to the original one, where the original was kind of just Andy and his mom, and then the detective comes in.
Yeah.
In this one, they had the friends, and they had other characters like Mike's mom. So I did like how they kept bringing in new characters. And it was just as long, I think, as the other one.
Yeah, bringing more kids into the picture, I thought, was something interesting and fresh that made it feel different. Because, like, unless you count, like, Child's Play 3... it's really just Andy and all adults in, like, the other movies for the most part. Because they bring in, like, Tyler in, like, the third one and stuff. But I thought that was cool as well. The doll was nothing like the original. The doll was way different. The look, how the doll acted, the doll's backstory, the doll's motivations, like, dramatically different from the original movie.
The thing I liked is you could feel some sympathy for the doll too, because
like I really did. Like I felt bad when they were killing the doll.
Yeah, like because he in his mind thinks it's right to, like, he doesn't understand what killing or hurting is. Like, he just does not understand. It's like a bad robot. And, like, whenever he says stuff like, aren't we still friends? Are we having fun? Like, you actually feel bad for the doll.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy. Like, when he had to put the doll down the first time at the end, it reminded me of, like, Terminator 2, when he had to put Arnold Schwarzenegger in the fire at the end of that movie. I thought that was really interesting. So that's one thing I would give this movie dramatic points for, is it's a remake, but it's nothing like the original. Like, it's a fresh new take on the story, which most remakes are just lazy and they won't do that. They just basically take the original and then, like, I'm looking at you, Psycho remake, your stupid shot for shot worst version of the original, but there's none of that here. So if you go in, you expect something like something else in the franchise, it's not that at all. Like, it barely resembles the franchise at all. Like, if the doll wasn't named Chucky, you wouldn't even know it was a child, and the title was different, you wouldn't even know that it was like a Child's Play movie.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to think of where to go from here because there's so much to talk about.
Well, I mean, just kind of take it in terms of, like, the story, because obviously it's a remake, so we're talking about, like, that we like that it was fresh and all that. I know it's something that definitely warrants talking about. What'd you think of the dialogue of Chucky?
I thought it was actually really good because, like I said, in those scenes where you felt bad for him were really good, and he was really funny. Whenever he said the Tupac thing, what was it?
Oh, this is for Tupac.
This is for Tupac, yeah. And he says it right before he murders somebody, but because he doesn't understand what it means, he just says it as like a final thing to the guy he kills.
Because earlier in the movie, the kids were trying to video the doll saying this is for Tupac and stabbing like a unicorn, but the doll wouldn't do it. And then when the doll's doing it, I believe that's the first kill in the movie, not counting the person at the beginning who falls from like the toy store, but like the first person that Chucky, like we know that Chucky kills. I thought that was really interesting because he kills him, then like you're not really expecting it. He's like, this is for Tupac. I laugh like so hard.
You know what's funny, more funny too, is that whenever his head went through that lawnmower, or parts of it did, his hair came out and flew on like a lawn gnome's head or something.
I was not expecting the humor. Like
I didn't either.
I was not expecting this to be funny, but I thought they did it in the right way. Like I feel like the movie was still scary in parts, and I felt like the humor added to it. Like I didn't feel like this was like Bride or Seed, where it was. I feel like it was definitely more towards horror than comedy.
And I'm going to say this, and I bet you'll understand what I mean, but it was unintentional humor, as in they knew that they wanted to make Chucky this, like he was kind of blind to everything, so his jokes were because he was kind of naive.
Yeah.
And that's what made
definitely.
it great. Just like the Tupac joke, that was great because he didn't understand what it means, but he says that as like a final blow to like the guy he kills.
But yeah, it's kind of weird because the one-liners were a little bit different than what we've seen, because like you said, they were more like they were naive. I guess the best combination would be kind of like a cross between Child's Play 1 and Child's Play 2, where like Chucky's making one-liners, but like they don't really like make it more of like a comedy movie. Because I think in the original series, 3s were like they intentionally like wrote like the one-liners out to be funny. Like I feel like in Child's Play 2 they have one-liners, but I don't necessarily think they're supposed to be funny. I didn't feel like that started until the third one. So there are one-liners in here which I didn't know what to expect going in. I didn't know how much Chucky would talk, like what he would say. I wasn't sure what to expect. I really like the voice. Did you like the voice?
Yeah. Mark Hamill can play creepy voice well, and he really did good because he did like the Joker. He did really good in this, and it kind of like sometimes I could feel the similarities with that, but it wasn't like a thing that bothered me.
There was never a point where like Chucky was talking in anything he said or how he said it. I never felt like it was ripping off the old movies.
Not at all.
Like Chucky was, some of his one-liners were sort of like the franchise in that he's delivering a one-liner, but like how he sounded and all that was nothing like the original franchise, which was good because that was one of my biggest fears going in, was that they would start make it too comical. He would go for too many one-liners and then it would fall flat like Seed or something. But they kept, especially the first half of the movie, they really kept Chucky kind of serious, and kind of like in the original, they kept him serious and he didn't say a whole lot.
Unless it was an unintentional joke, but there are more later.
Yeah.
Like at the beginning, whenever he said Dick Cheese.
Or Andy Suff, because he thought, instead of what's up, he thought that was his last name.
Andy Suff.
Well,
that was a good way to write around the fact that they might not have been able to use their last name.
Yeah.
Because of the rights issues.
Yeah, I didn't think about that when I was watching that, but it probably was a rights issue, because they never once said like their last name at all at any time. So
they said Mike's once, but they just said Detective Norris.
Yeah.
They didn't like say Mike Norris, so. But they said Mike earlier.
One thing I thought was kind of cool is that he never really did this. Like, I wasn't expecting it either. Like, when he first gets the Buddy doll, they sort of do like a montage of like him and Chucky developing like a friendship. And I thought that was effective and that worked, and I wasn't expecting that.
Well, watching Cody Leach's review on it before I saw this, he said that too, that like the first one didn't have any like build on their friendship, like, because Chucky didn't say anything for the first half.
Well, I mean, he was saying it, but like in his ear, like you didn't actually.
Yeah, like you didn't actually see anything happen. Yeah, and in this one, they talked, they had fun. There was a montage of them like playing games with each other, So it really felt like there was kind of a bond, which was really cool. I really did enjoy that a lot.
Yeah, like that was totally fresh because you never had that in any of the movies in the original, like a legitimate friendship with the doll and stuff. I think the motivations were interesting because you could never really sympathize for Chucky in the original because he was a big-time serial killer before he even became Chucky.
Yep.
And it was clear, like, very early in the original movie that he was evil, and Chucky's never really been sympathetic. But in this movie, like, you could easily sympathize with the doll because, like, all the doll safeguards were turned off, and, like, everything he was doing for a while, attacking the cat or doing whatever, he was doing it for Andy, like you said. So, like, I feel like the doll was scary, but the doll was also sympathetic. Like, the combination was really good there.
And whenever he killed somebody, he'd say, like, now we can be friends again, because, like, he thinks that was what got it in the way, so he'd have to get rid of it.
Yeah, because he was literally trying to help Andy out, or he thought he was, by, like, hurting the cat and then later killing the cat because the cat scratched him, or, like, later on killing the mom's boyfriend, who was, oh my god, he was
a piece of shit.
I feel like he was done the right way, though. Like, I hated him, but I didn't feel like he was over the top, because you don't like him from the start, but they were subtle with it, because he's drinking, he's watching football, he's not paying attention, like, he's a jerk, but I don't.
But
and then
you get to the family that he comes home to.
No, before that though, like when he's getting mad at Andy and he pushes him, I was like, oh god, here we go right here. And then the worst part, and I didn't really think about it, I didn't see that coming, that he had like a wife and kids, and then he comes home, puts his wedding ring back on, like, Chucky's gotta kill this guy. But he gets probably the best death in the movie, but we'll talk about the kills later on. I'll try to keep our regular structure going, but we'll definitely talk about the kills later on. But he takes care of that guy for Andy, and then there's kind of a turning point in the movie. It was kind of interesting. It's like they gang up on Chucky and they basically quote unquote kill him, like they take his battery pack out and like destroy it or whatever, so like he can't do anything. And then one thing that is kind of stupid is you do have a couple things of plot convenience. We can talk about that one, the open of this movie, because I know you wanted to talk about that earlier.
That bugged me.
Go ahead.
Talk about it right now. It really, I thought it was really lazy that they opened up. The reason Chucky's evil is because this guy, Vietnamese guy in Vietnam, like, who is just working on the dolls. He's been working too hard, and the boss is like, you're gonna go on the street if you don't finish this doll.
He's like, finish this last one and then you're fired.
Oh, and then
he's
you're
like,
gone.
oh, I'll finish this last one.
Yeah, and then he turns off all the safety hazards and throws the doll with the other dolls in boxes. So that's how Chucky's evil. I just thought that was really stupid.
Well, not just that, but it's like how easy it was. Like, I'm gonna press 3 buttons and I'm gonna make like the ultimate evil doll. Like, he barely.
What were the things? It was like safety hazards, language and violence restrictions.
Yeah.
And that was the one thing that really annoyed me. I was like, are you serious? Like, I understand, like, he's not, like, a real person and he's not going to transfer his soul into a doll. But, like, that was just kind of lazy, I thought.
It was definitely lazy writing, although in concept, like I was telling you earlier, it's a good idea because, like, the thought of you having a toy that can control all these different appliances and some crazy guy reprograms it, because they alluded to that, like, I think in Child's Play 2, like, they said, someone messed with the voice box, and that's why the doll was acting up or whatever.
That's true.
That's always, like, a fear with, like, something that can connect to Wi-Fi. And, you know, like, any movie, like Terminator, any robot movie, Machines Gone Evil, like, we've seen that happen, you know, so many different times.
And they even make a joke about it in the movie, because the girl, I forgot what the girl character's name is, but she's like, this is how every robot apocalypse starts.
It really does.
And that was a good joke, just because they knew it was already, like, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, so neither one of us were a huge fan of, like, how the doll became evil. Like, it was good in theory, but it was poorly executed because it just seemed like literally, like, plot convenience. And if you think about it, like, why would that guy even do that? Because I know he's mad about his job, but like, you're gonna let that be shipped. You know, kids are buying these, so you're gonna like basically put a kid's life in jeopardy. I don't care how mad you are about your job. So that was kind of a plot issue that I had a problem with as well.
I want to speak of another build-up though with Chucky. I like the fact that since Chucky's a robot, he doesn't understand like with violence. So whenever there's a scene where Andy puts a knife down and stabs it onto a board, and then Chucky looks at it and just, without anything in his hand, just goes, oh. Like, he just does that. And, like, you could see, like, him liking that. Like, oh, I want to do that again. And, like, it's a good build-up to him actually becoming violent, because, like, he thinks it looks cool.
Yeah.
And he's a robot that's naive, and then he's like, oh, I like to do that. That looks entertaining. So.
Let me ask you this, because I thought this was, I almost said something to you. Did you not get Ultron vibes at that one part in the movie where like Chucky connects and he starts learning all this stuff?
Oh,
it reminded me of Avengers 2
that.
when Ultron connects and then like he turns evil after that because he's like, oh, I
didn't even think about that. Yeah, now you say that.
Because he connects and then he learns. He's like, Chucky, you need to learn. He connects, and then that's like the point where he kind of becomes a problem, sort of, in a way. Now, one thing that I did really like is I like the cinematography a lot, like especially early on. Like they didn't do bad CGI shots of Chucky killing people a lot. Like they did some good POV shots. Like I love how the mom's boyfriend gets killed. Like they do a lot of POV before they actually kill him.
They do.
So I really like how the movie was shot.
And this also just stands out from the other ones and how it looks too, because it doesn't have that same look to it, which looks really good.
I don't know how to describe it, but the cinematography is definitely different than anything we've seen before.
Yeah, I really liked at the end of the colors, like the red.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was really cool, the red and black. But yeah, that was really good. Yeah.
Let's think. Other things with the story. Like I thought I had another big issue. I think there was I didn't like that. I didn't like how when I liked that they took his battery pack out and killed him, but I didn't like the plot convenience of the guy finding him in the dumpster, like, oh, I'm going to put him back together and then unstrap him, and then I just thought that was kind of lazy a little bit too, because like, he's going to happen to find the doll in the dumpster, he already had the part to put it in him to give him another battery.
And he's like, I'm going to sell it on eBay. Yeah, that was just kind of weird, but it got a good kill though out of it. But.
Yeah, definitely. We'll get to the kills here in a minute.
Did we talk much about the kids, like the Andy's friends?
No, you can if you want.
I thought they were fine for the most part, but I thought that they should have been there a little more.
Yeah, underutilized. I was
they were
about to say the
underutilized.
same thing. Especially compared to the trailer, they made you think the kids were going to play a bigger part, and
they really. They didn't like do much of it at all. They like helped him destroy the broken, killed Chucky at the end, like after he was destroyed. But like they didn't do much else.
Well, they helped kill him the first time, but still, though,
that's true.
I still feel like it's kind of like the original in that it's Chucky, Andy, and Andy's mom, and everybody else is kind of a side story, just like original.
And I think they were trying to go for that, I guess, but they just, I don't know. It's weird doing both of those things because it can be underutilized like the kids were. But yeah, they kind of did shoehorn that in for like a Stranger Things. Like, look at these kids.
They're definitely going.
Look at these kids fighting together.
That's like the new hip thing, rip off Stranger Things.
Yep.
That's what everybody is doing.
Pretty much.
It chapter 1, like you see that all the time. So let's transition. We can come back to the plot if we want, but let's talk about the characters a little bit. So I really liked Andy's performance in this movie. I couldn't find any flaws. I thought Andy was outstanding. He even displayed emotion like both times when he had to kill Chucky. Like both times, like his emotion was
And again, because they became good friends whenever he had to kill him. Like it really showed how good his acting was. Whenever he was really sad he was losing him.
I would say I prefer him over Alex Vincent in 1 or 2, and I liked Alex Vincent a lot in 2. But I'd say I think it was really smart to cast an older kid, because that was a big mistake with some of the earlier movies, especially Alex Vincent in Part 1 and the guy who played Tyler in Part 3. Like, they were so young, they didn't act good. So
I might defend that a little bit, just because the first one, like, since Andy was so young, he was kind of naive.
Yeah.
Like, so Chucky, like, who was inside of a doll. Like, he could, like, manipulate him.
Yeah, I know that. I'm talking more about, like, his line.
Oh, yeah.
More about, like, his delivery. Like, I understand why Andy acted the way he did in the original, but, like, his delivery. Yeah. But I feel like Andy was just on point with, like, his bonding with Chucky, his negative emotions, his grief, his reactions in different parts. I thought he was really good.
Yeah, he was. He really did sell that role. And I really liked everybody else, too. Everybody else was really solid.
What'd you think of the mom?
Aubrey Plaza, she was good. She had more humor than I thought she would. Like, whenever she said, like wherever they were, I don't know who she was talking to. She was talking to somebody about, that's your son? And she's like, yeah, I had a really fun Sweet 16.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And Aubrey Plaza, I love anyway. She's so hilarious.
Please say you've seen Parks and Recreation.
Yeah.
Because she's, like, arguably my favorite character. Her and Chris Pratt are, like, my favorite characters.
I haven't watched a lot of it, but what I've seen, I really like her and Chris Pratt.
And she did good at being funny, but, like, she had serious moments, and I enjoyed her performance. I didn't think she was as good as Karen in the original, but...
They didn't have the scene, that one great scene with her, for, like, in the original. Like, I wish they had something like that, but, like, you can't do that in this one with no batteries.
Yeah, I think I prefer Karen's performance in the original more, but I appreciate that they didn't try to copy it. Like,
that's true. And she was good still.
Because I don't think they were shooting for the same thing. Like, they were shooting for more, like, the younger mom kind of, you know, immature kind of feel. Like, not in a bad way, but like because, you know, Karen in the original was, like, older, got herself together, single mom.
She was just low on
got
money.
Her composure.
Besides that, she was good.
But yeah, I liked that they brought something new to Karen's character.
Yeah, and can we go to Mike Norris?
Yep.
I liked him, too, because he had a lot more jokes. Like, the original one, Chris Sarandon, who's great in the first one, original one, he didn't have any jokes, really. He was just kind of the serious detective, and that's fine. I liked him in that a lot. But, like, this one, Mike Norris has some pretty funny jokks. I did like him a couple times.
Yeah, I like Sarandon better, but I mean, that's
a given.
I mean, it's hard to beat Sarandon in that or in the original in Fright Night. But I like that they did something different. A lot of his jokes didn't land for me. I didn't think he was super funny, but I still liked his character overall. And then, did you catch at the end when he shoots Chucky and he says, this is the end? A ripoff of Andy's This Is the End friend before he throws the match in the fire.
Well, what did Chucky say before he got shot? He said something about the end, didn't he? And then that's why
I think they were like, we're friends till the end.
Oh,
it wasn't exactly like it was in the original, but that was definitely a callback.
So that's why Mike said that. Okay, because I thought Chucky said something about the end before he got shot.
So remember in the original where Chucky's like, please, Andy, we're friends to the end. And he's like, this is the end. Fred tosses the match in the fire and sets it on fire.
This would be so bad, but wouldn't it be so hilarious if they used a line from Leprechaun instead and, like, he just said, fuck you, Lucky Charms?
Yeah.
I just said that instead.
That would have been funny.
That would have been good.
That would have definitely been funny.
But I liked him, too. He was good. Yeah, I guess he's the weakest one out of the three main ones, but he's good. I like him.
I mean, like, I feel like if you're comparing to the cast of the original's going to win just because there's so many great, iconic performances in the original, but that's not to say the performances. Yeah, I prefer Karen and Mike in the original more, but those are, like, legendary performances. It's going to be hard to beat those, you know?
And I feel like I guess this is one negative with this movie. Like, I feel like they focus more on them in the original. They still do a lot in this, but there are more people in this movie, so it's not as just them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it still was good, like, with the characters in this movie. I noticed it was different from the other one.
Yeah.
At least it makes a difference, still.
Characters were good, but not, like, outstanding. I thought the characters were outstanding.
Yeah.
Because I think Andy was better in this one, but I would give the nod to just about everybody else. Well, I mean, there wasn't that many choices in the original.
That's true. Yeah.
Like, I would give Karen was better in the original, Mike was better in the original. Now, if you're talking about actually Chucky, I mean, if you're just talking about the original and you're not thinking about the sequels, I really like Chucky in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, Mark Hamill did a really good job of being fun and entertaining, but different still, too.
And sympathetic.
He didn't try
really
to copy
funny.
Brad Dourif. That was, like, my biggest fear going in, that he was going to try to copy Brad Dourif. like Jackie Earle Haley tried to copy Robert Englund, and it's just going to seem bad.
That's actually two sighs of relief recently, because the Aladdin remake, I thought that Will Smith would be just like Robin Williams, but I didn't feel like he was.
Yeah, I liked Will Smith's performance in Aladdin too.
Yeah.
So let's get off the characters now. Let's go to kills. Now, when I was going in, I was kind of like, I wasn't really expecting gore in this movie. Like, I knew it was going to be rated R, but there's a lot of rated R movies that don't have that much gore. And man, I was blown away by the kills. I wouldn't say it's like the best gore I've ever seen. It's not like Evil Dead Remake or anything, but like,
they took their time with it too. Did you notice that? Like, they didn't do it until felt like at least 45 minutes in, at least. Like, because they had maybe the cat was the one, but they didn't show anything else, like people.
Yeah, if you don't count the guy that, like, falls from, like, the roof of, like, the factory or whatever, there isn't a kill until the mom's boyfriend, which I want to say is, like, 45 minutes
Which I appreciated. I like that more than just, like, kill.
It didn't bother me this time.
Yeah.
Just, the original takes a while to get going, too, because after the Toy Story shootout, Maggie doesn't die for a while. Like in that, so that didn't really bother me too much either. And the kills were awesome. Like the first kill, the guy's on the ladder trying to take down his Christmas lights. Chucky pulls the ladder. He lands on his feet, but like he snaps his leg, and I had to look away. Like, my god,
that was a cringy moment.
That's good though. Like if I have to look away, that's good gore. And then they take their time. Like, they don't just kill him quick. They drag the scene out, but in a good way. They build the suspense. He turns on the tiller. I think that's what that thing's called, the tiller.
That's what it is.
It starts wrapping the Christmas lights, like, pulling him in. And then you think, they kind of psych you out a little bit. So they make you think the tiller's just going to get him, but he stops it with his hand. You're like, oh, that's smart. Then Chucky jumps on him, and then that's where he says, "This is for Tupac," stabs him, and then that makes him, I guess, let go of the tiller. The tiller tears up his head, and his scalp, like, lands on this statue.
And then you see it afterward, it's just a skeleton, basically.
Yeah, and then the aftermath, the kill looked good, the aftermath looked good, and then when you see, like, the severed head or whatever, and when Chucky put a bow on it and gave it to Andy, that was really crazy,
and I thought that was cool, too, how it played in before, where he had the stick with a bow on it. Do you remember? Because he's like, I gave you a present. And then I just like how, again, he does that, but with a kill that time.
Yeah, that was awesome. So what other kills did we get in this movie?
We got the guy who found him after his battery got taken out.
Oh yeah,
where he was on the like pipe, and then like Chucky turned up the heat with the app, and then there's a saw underneath him, so like he falls down because it gets so hot, and then it like cuts him up.
And remember, it cuts off like a leg or something, and you see like it's really gory, and it makes you cringe. My only problem, like, I didn't love how, like, he turned the thermostat up, which I know he could control the thermostat, but, like, I feel like the pipe wouldn't get hot that quickly, you know, and you couldn't turn it up to, like, that high of a degree. Like, anything would have a safeguard. Like, you can't physically get the temperature in your house.
That's
100. True. What would it get up to, like, 150 or more?
I thought it was like 200.
Yeah, like, it was like that. And
it was like...
And you couldn't make the temperature go up that much that fast, because even, like, if you have a thermostat in your house and you turn the temperature up, it takes time for it to get up to that temperature.
It was like Final Destination 3 with the tanning bed, you know?
Yeah.
Where, like, it goes like to 400 or something.
But that wasn't what killed him. The temperature wasn't what killed him. It was the buzzsaw, which was a really good kill. What else? Let's see, what else did you get?
We got his mom, Mike's mom, and that wasn't a kill that was really shown either.
The suspense was awesome in that scene, because they really psych you out, because he controls the car, which was cool, and then it kind of reminded me of the original when Mike's in the car, and then like the car crashes, and he's looking around for Chucky. They make you think, oh, he's out there. No, he's in the back seat. No, and then you jumped because he was next to him.
I never jump at that stuff. I guess this is one negative. There were 2 jump scares in the movie that were not needed. There was one where Andy walks into the house and he knows where Chucky is, and then some human grabs his shoulder and there's a jump scare.
It was his mom. Yeah, that was stupid.
I was like, that's dumb. And then I think there was another one too that was the same, but like those weren't needed. But the one with Chucky in the car, that was a great, because he's talking on the like thing, and he's saying something to her, and then he's right there and finishes the sentence while he pops up. So it really was well done, where he jumps out at her. That was really good.
And I wouldn't expect them to execute like suspense so well during the kill scenes, because if you think about the original like only had a few kills, and they executed Maggie's scene in the original, like when Chucky was creeping around the house. That was good suspense, but like, you know, the other kills you get are just kind of quick in the original, so they do a really good job of building like suspense. I'm trying to think of what other kills.
I don't know if there's many more, because
well, there's a lot that occur at the end. Like, they have a really awesome, well, I don't want to get into that because I want to wait until we get to the ending to talk about like the toy store at the end, because that's Warren's talking about like on its own. But I thought the kills were, I mean, you could have had a higher body count, but like even the original didn't, and there wasn't a moment where I was like bored, like I need some more kills. I never really felt like that was an issue. I felt like the movie was well paced.
And I really liked all the people in it, so.
Yeah, great acting, and the humor was good, so it kept you going. You know, I love how they handled Chucky differently this time, and how, like, he was more naive and innocent and built up his relationship with Andy and all that, and how that played out slowly, and it's like Chucky got more and more evil as the movie came on. I feel like there's kind of a revenge vibe there that was neat, like when him and his friends kill Chucky the first time and he comes back. I feel like he's a little more like evil and vengeful, because who wouldn't be? Because he's trying to help him out with all the stuff he did, and they killed him.
Yeah,
like that.
That's
so
true.
It was awesome.
The gore was really good overall. I like that.
Yeah, it was well paced. They didn't waste time. So let's get into kind of the ending, or the last act. So they have a toy store scene, but it's nothing like Child's Play 2. They're about to unveil like the Buddy 2, like the new Buddy doll, and all the kids are there. It's like, gave me like Black Friday vibes, where like everybody's like, oh, midnight's Black Friday, and then everybody just starts running.
Yeah, it was
and
a
going
midnight
crazy.
event. Yeah,
they had oh my god, there is such a good kill at that part, because there's this guy and he has to wear the Buddy costume, and remember, me and you were looking at each other. He's like, fuck this job, because we were just looking at each other like, oh my god, that's a shit job, right?
I was thinking about that,
and then he
too.
puts the helmet on, and then he was such like, and Chucky stabs him in the neck. And I didn't say this to you because we were in the movie theater. Did you not get like Scream 2 vibes? Where like the girl gets stabbed at the beginning of the movie theater, and everybody thinks like, oh, she's joking, and then she's dead, and everybody's like, what the hell?
That was some great dark humor where his thing came off and blood was splattering out, and it flew on a girl's face, a little girl.
Dark humor was so on point.
It was.
In this movie. Like, I didn't feel like it was overly jokey, but like, oh man, it was definitely dark humor.
Again, yeah, because it was either dark humor or it was Chucky being naive, like, so it made it funny.
Yeah, it's definitely a horror movie and not a horror comedy. So,
but I do love that they kept Chucky, even though this isn't like the other connected to the other ones. I like how they kept that sort of humor, but it's a different type of humor.
Yeah,
as opposed to the other movies.
So the end is crazy because Chucky basically takes control of some drones. So you have drones going around killing people, which kind of reminded me of, no one's going to get this reference, I doubt how many people have seen this movie. Remember the drone thing in Puppet Master: The Littlest Reich?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was thinking of when I saw the drone going around killing people.
I didn't think about it, I didn't immediately think about Puppet Master, but I was thinking there's a drone kill recently that I had.
Don't back into my car. There's this guy in front of me. He literally is like 1 foot from my car.
Damn, that was really close.
He probably has a backup camera, so he probably knew.
Yeah.
Woo! It's the last thing I need. It's been a stressful day on the road, and I had to go through storms. Had to go through storms, huge amounts of traffic, and everything else for us to be able to see.
My GPS just kept acting up.
It was brutal.
Mm-hmm.
So the drones start attacking people. Some of the other dolls get possessed and they start attacking. Then he captures Andy's mom. So you have like the final showdown. Now I will say this, and I don't know how you feel. This is kind of a negative for me, is I kind of missed like the ending of the first one. Like I like the confined. It was all confined to like the apartment at the end of the first one. I kind of like the isolated, small scale like setting more. I felt like the end. Because I'm not thinking about Child's Play 2, because Child's Play 2 is awesome. But the end was like, oh, I got a forklift, and I'm going to raise her up on the forklift and all this. Like, I felt like the end was a little kind of over the top. I don't know, like...
I can see what you mean.
You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying it wasn't like... It was almost too large scale for me.
For
what I wanted.
For the first one, too.
Well, I mean, if you think about the whole rest of the movie, it was kind of small scale for this movie.
That's true.
And then they have like a large scale end, and it was good, but it felt like out of place.
I also thought that this grocery store or whatever they were at, whenever they went into the ending place where like she was being hung up, like it didn't look like a grocery store anymore.
Yeah,
it was
I
like
thought
what?
that
Where?
because you know, like I've worked at Kroger's and stuff, and they have the back area where they keep all the products, but like it felt like a different.
It didn't
setting.
feel like it was.
I felt like there's no way it would be part of like that same place.
Yeah,
I thought that too. It felt like totally a different setting, but the end is good though. Like he rescues his mom, and you have some good one-liners as they're killing Chucky, where Mike this time says, "This is the end."
Yeah.
And like Randy said, "This is the end, friend," like in the first one. And then the mom says something else, like she's like, "Don't fuck with my son," or whatever, and rips his head off. Like
that was good.
It's like everybody had to get a one-liner at the end, but I liked it though.
I like that a lot. But yeah, the ending was solid. It just wasn't like you said, it was weird being so small scale, and then went to that.
Okay, let's do it like this. Let's make it fun. Let's just talk about the endings of the different movies. Would you take the ending of the original or the ending of this? I'd take the original. Child's Play 2 or this?
2.
3 or this?
3.
It's a little closer.
It's
but
closer on 3, yeah.
Now, I will give it over Bride, but I don't like the ending of Bride.
I give it over Bride, even though I love Bride, but the ending's not as good.
The ending of Bride is so mediocre. It's like a weaker version
because he just gets
of the
shot
first
again.
one.
Yeah,
like been there, done that. And then Seed's terrible. We're not even going to talk about that. Seed has that. Oh God, Seed has that really terrible.
The ninja fight.
Oh God, and the really he goes Busta Rhymes. Glenn goes, oh God, let's not talk about that.
And then Curse, I really like Curse's
yeah,
ending.
I would take the Curse ending too, where like Nika's in court and all that.
And Court, Colt. I really like Colt's ending actually too.
No!
Sorry.
No!
Like all those kills, like and being in that hospital, that was great at the end.
Where Andy's, you talking about the end?
Yeah, where Andy
like
smashes
he
Jeffrey
possesses Nika and she grabs her own tits. She's like, there's perks to being supernaturally possessed. Then she goes outside and makes out with Jennifer Tilly.
Yeah.
And then Andy's master plan is to put one pistol in the doll, and he uses 5 shots and he locks himself in the cell. And
I like
God.
it.
No, Cole has such a bad end. But
I don't know. Yeah, I still like it though, but I don't know which one.
Yeah,
to
so
choose.
that's crazy. So we would take most of the other movies' last acts over this one, but I think the Chucky franchise has really good final acts, and almost
most
all,
part, yeah, it
all
really
the movies.
does.
The only Child's Plays I feel like have weak endings are Bride, Seed, and Colbert. I know we're not going to agree on that one there, but
yep.
But so the ending was good, but it doesn't live up to other ones in the franchise. So now we got to figure out kind of how we would grade this overall. So what do you think you would grade this?
On a letter grade?
Yeah.
Honestly,
you know how I look at things.
Yeah.
Videos.
Honestly, I think I'd give it a B. Because it's not as good as the original one, but it still has a lot of good things about it. The gore's good, the characters are good, cinematography's good, the idea is good, being different, and it's really, really entertaining. So I'd say a B.
Yeah, it's hard for me because it's hard to judge. I don't like to judge a movie like right after I've seen it. But if I had to take it, I would go, I'm going to do it by each of my criteria. So if it comes to the story, I think I'd probably go a B for the story. It was really good, but there were some certain like plot conveniences like we talked about. So B for the story. I'd probably go gut instinct would be a B on the acting too. Not to say that it's bad, but like I wasn't necessarily wowed by anybody other than Andy.
Mm-hmm.
The kills, I would probably go an A for the kills. I thought the kills and the gore were good.
I give it like a B. It's still good though. I do like it. Because I'm thinking of like gore recently that I watched for recent movies, and Brightburn was better.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, it's still good though.
Then rewatch, I would probably give it an A there because it was fun and it was well paced. Then the ending, I would go a B, so it would be three B's and 2 A's, so it would be a B for me too, but a high B though, because I think I gave Curse. I'm pretty sure I gave Curse of Chucky a B, and that's, I think, in the franchise for me. I think I would say it's definitely better than Seed and Cult. I think it might be better than Curse too, like it's close. So I would probably rank it around, I think the original 3 Child's Plays are better, and I still think Bright is slightly better. I'd probably put it 5th for me. What do you think?
I'll put it over Seed in 3, and Cult. I really love the gore in Cult. Like that's some of the best gore in the franchise.
Cole does have
and I
some
do
of the
like,
best skills in the
and
franchise.
I do really like.
I'll give it that.
And I do really like the story a lot. I know you don't, but but I really do. So I'd put it overall. I might put it like above Seed in 3. But it's not like them saying it's bad at all. It's not.
Well, the Chucky franchise is good. In my opinion, the Chucky franchise only has one terrible movie, and that's Seed. And even then, Seed's like watchable.
I actually enjoy Seed.
Seed,
I just think Seed
is watchable. Like, it's entertainingly watchable. Like, I don't hate Seed as much as Seed fits the Chucky franchise, and it isn't as disrespectful to the Chucky franchise like some of the other movies that we don't like are to their franchises.
Yeah, and whether you like it or not, I like how Don Mancini, who does the Chucky movies, the other ones, like he always tries to make something different. Like after the first 3, they're all different movies. That makes sense.
Yeah, they're all
like they're not the exact same thing every time. So whether people like them or not, I appreciate that they're different.
Yeah, so it's kind of middle of the Chucky franchise, but that's still a good thing because the Chucky franchise is high quality. So I would say, would you agree that if you're a Chucky fan, you should definitely see this movie?
I'd say so, even though it's a different type of Chucky. But
you just have to go in knowing that it's way different than any other movie. So you can't really compare it to the rest of the franchise, but in terms of the quality of the movie, it's definitely not the worst in the Chucky franchise. We both would say it's better than multiple movies in the Chucky franchise. So if you like the Chucky franchise, you're gonna like this movie.
I agree. Yep. Yeah, really did enjoy it more than I expected to, because the way that they were gonna, I just expected this to be a cynical like remake that a lot of them are.
Soulless remake. That's what I was kind of
and this one
too.
is very ambitious in being different. It's not the same movie at all, and I really appreciate that. It's not even like the other movies or any of them at all. So
do not let remakeism stop you from seeing this movie. Because some people are like, I'm not seeing it because it's a remake, and remakes are terrible. Like,
what are you talking about? The Psycho remake's great.
No, some remakes are terrible. And you know how some people are. They're like, it's automatically a bad movie because it's a remake. They probably haven't even seen half of them. There are actually good remakes out there. And, like, this will be fun sometime because I think if I'm ranking remakes, I would put this one up there. Like, this is a really high-quality remake. It does the right combination of staying true to the original, but doing enough stuff different to not make it predictable.
You know, whenever I was thinking this is one of the best overall, like, horror remakes. I think of this, and I think of, like, the Evil Dead remake as well.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one that's top of my head.
We're gonna do this one time. Maybe on the group, make like a remake week or something, and then we'll do stuff like this. It'll be really fun.
That'll be awesome.
But that's a video I want to do eventually. I've actually already started a playlist on my channel. Eventually, I'm gonna do like originals versus remakes. So I'm gonna review the original. I'm gonna review the remake, and then I'm gonna do a video like a versus video for the two. I think it'd be really fun.
That would be cool.
Sort of like boots to reboots for like stitched together pics, but not you know, a little bit different, just like kind of like a battle, like which one wins, the original or the remake. And unlike some of these people out there, the original doesn't always win every time. The original will win a lot, but not every time.
Yeah, there are definitely exceptions, and also there's some that you could feel you like the original as much as the remake too. There's one in my head that I'm forgetting that I really do. Oh, Pet Sematary. I thought that the remake was, for me, just as good as the other one. I didn't think it was worse or better.
Yeah, the remake was definitely
like it was almost the same kind of for me. Like I liked it just the same.
I didn't like it as much as the original, but I thought it was good too.
But I didn't watch it as a kid though either.
Yeah, I have a lot of nostalgia for the original, and I've read the book, so like I have a lot. It's hard. I'm usually good at taking bias out, but it's really hard to separate nostalgia for that.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
So we both highly recommend this movie. So if you're on the fence, you're like, oh, I'm scared because it's a remake and it seems really different. I don't know how much we've stressed this, but the look of Chucky's not bad. Like, I've heard a lot of people saying that Chucky looks, like, really terrible in this movie, and I didn't really get that. Like, I thought Chucky looked pretty close to the same most of the time, and I didn't feel like there was too much CGI there, so I enjoyed, like, it's different than what you're used to, but, like, I thought it looked pretty good. The look of the doll was not a negative for me.
You know what I noticed? There was a shot in the trailer where he does that smile, where like it's really bad looking, like in the trailer with the CGI, and like they touched it up. And I don't know if you'll know which scene I'm talking about.
I know exactly what
the
scene
one
you're
where he kind of smiles.
Yep.
Like
it looked way
worse
better in this
in
actual
movie.
Yeah. But yeah, that's one thing I want to tell everybody, because I know a lot of people I've seen people complaining about the doll. Like, before the movie came out, like, people were judging the movie based on one trailer where you barely saw the doll and a few stills that came out, and I didn't think the doll is that the best that Chucky's ever looked. No, because I'm always going to prefer the original three, like how Chucky looks.
And this one's more robotic anyways. Like, it's not going to be like the other Chucky where it, like,
because it's a whole different thing. It's an AI
it's
Chucky,
AI, so.
And it's not going to be like the other one. That I thought that was cool too, that since it was AI and it was already kind of doing stuff, they had more freedom for Chucky to talk and do stuff than in the original, because like if other people see Chucky talking, their questions are going to come up, but in this one they're like, oh, all the dolls are like that, so it was kind of interesting.
This is kind of related, but that scene where Chucky, Andy's trying to get him to scare the guy, like the boyfriend, and he's like, okay, make this look, and he's like, and like his lips like move in a weird way, and it's really funny. Like, his lips since they're robotic, they move like in weird places, and it's a really funny joke of him just trying to make a scary face.
I laughed too. I thought it was
really good.
I thought it was funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just again, really great use of humor.
And the animatronics were good on the doll in that scene, and pretty much every scene. That was a big fear before I saw some trailers and stuff. I was afraid they were going to over CGI the doll, but that didn't happen.
I noticed there was one shot at the end where he jumps, and it is a CG shot. You noticed that? It wasn't terrible, but
it was noticeable. I think it's noticeable if you watch a lot of like horror movies, like To the Keen Eye. But I didn't think it was bad CGI.
No, yeah.
It's not Chucky walking down the stairs in Curse level CGI. You know that one scene?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
God, that seems terrible.
At first, I was thinking of the other one where it's the down view, but that's a real person. There's two shots in that movie.
Yeah.
Okay, I know what you were talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shot is not. I know it's direct to video, so.
Yeah, that is true. It is direct to video. Mm-hmm. So eventually on my channel, we're going to live stream, and we're going to do a live stream and talk about this movie once everybody's seen it. So we're going to do that. And then eventually we're going to do a live stream where we rank the Chucky franchise like we did for the Friday the 13th one a while back. So I'm going to have to ponder on my Child's Play ranking before I definitively say.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure it's going to be better than the last three. That's kind of where I'm leaning on putting it. But I don't think it's better than the first three or Bride.
Yeah, Seed's my least favorite, but like Curse I like more, and Cult, it just depends.
I could see why Lee really liked this one, though, because Lee, you know how it is, he hates Bride, like he hates the comedic ones. He's like Taylor, like he likes he doesn't like Thanksgiving either. Like he likes more of like the serious. I hope Lee watches this and listens in. If he listens in this far enough, but it's like it's probably the most serious tone since probably the second one. Like,
yeah, overall, yeah. Well, Curse was serious.
Yeah, like Curse was serious, but he likes Curse. Like he ranks.
Oh,
he ranks Curse high, but Lee doesn't like Bright. He doesn't like Sidney. He doesn't like Colt. Those are like his bottom 3, I think. So this has definitely got a nice serious tone.
It does, yeah. Just very, very well done. Just a real surprise.
Look at the time, we're at like 50 minutes. I figured this would go for a while. But yeah, we'll both have like a shorter like individual review that we'll do by ourselves that we'll put up as well. But we want to do, if you want spoiler talk, this is like our spoiler talk thoughts. So you got anything else to say before we wrap this up?
No, I think we covered it all.
Hey, so like I said, come to each of our channels, check out our individual reviews of this movie coming out this weekend. Stay tuned for news on our live stream where we're going to talk about this movie and our live stream where we rank the franchise. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for checking out my channel.
See you guys.